Every company you admire runs on one thing. Not talent, not funding, not luck. Data, clean data, reliable data, engineered data. The companies that win are the ones that figured out how to collect it, move it, trust it, and act on it. And the professionals inside those companies, the ones actually building the systems that make it all work, they speak a language most people never learn. This channel exists to teach you that language. Welcome to DataFlux. DataFlux is a data and tech brand built around one idea. We teach the data stack, coding, curve, and we prove it with real builds. We don't just explain concepts on a whiteboard and call it a day. We actually build things in code with real data every single time. Every tool we teach, we use. Every concept we explain, we implement. If we say a pipeline works, we show you the pipeline running. If we say a data quality framework catches errors, we show you the errors getting caught. No theory without proof. That is the DataFlux Standard. Our focus is the full modern data stack. Data engineering, data quality, data governance, data integrity, and data science. These are the disciplines that separate companies that trust their data from companies that drown in it. And here's something important. We don't know everything. Nobody does. What we do know is how to learn fast, build smart, and use every tool available, including AI, to figure things out and prove they work. That's the honest version of this channel, and we think that's more valuable than pretending to have all the answers. Let's talk about the tools, because this matters. A lot of data content out there teaches concepts using expensive enterprise platforms. Tools that cost hundreds or thousands of dollars a month. That's fine if your company is paying for it, but if you're learning on your own, that's a wall most people never get past. We don't do that here. Every tool we use at DataFlux is free and open source. Not just free. These are the same tools used by real data teams at real companies around the world. Python, the universal language of data, pipelines, analysis, machine learning. Python is the foundation of everything we build. Free. VSCode, our editor of choice. Lightweight, extensible, used by millions of developers globally. Free. Jupyter notebooks for exploration, analysis, and teaching. The best way to see code and output side by side. Free. Apache Airflow, the industry standard for pipeline orchestration, scheduling, monitoring, dependencies, free and open source. dbt Core for transforming data inside your warehouse. The tool that's reshaped analytics engineering. The core version is completely free. Great expectations for data quality validation. Define what good data looks like and let the framework catch everything that doesn't. Free. Git and GitHub, version control and collaboration. Every project we build, we version, just like a real team. Free. This is the technical stack, professional grade, production ready, zero cost to get started. But there's one more layer, and it's the one that changes everything about how fast you can learn. AI tools. We use AI tools as learning accelerators, and we're going to be completely transparent about that on this channel. When we're building in a domain, we're still learning. We use Claude, ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, Gemini, and Perplexity to move faster, understand deeper, and fill the gaps. All of them have free plans. All of them are powerful. This isn't cheating. This is how modern engineers actually work. AI doesn't replace knowing the data stack. It amplifies it. And starting from day zero, we'll show you exactly how to use these tools as part of your workflow, not as a crutch, but as a multiplier. If you have a laptop, an internet connection, and the right stack of free tools, you have everything you need to follow along with everything on this channel. Now let's get into what you're actually going to learn here. Data engineering, how data moves, pipelines, ETL, orchestration, storage, the infrastructure that makes everything else possible. Data quality, how data stays trustworthy. Validation, profiling, monitoring, because bad data is worse than no data and it's everywhere. Data governance, how data gets managed at scale. Lineage, access control, ownership policies, the rules that keep organizations from drowning in their own data. Data integrity, how data stays consistent from source to destination. Constraints, reconciliation, audit trails. The difference between data you can act on and data you have to question. Data science, how data becomes insight and prediction. Models, experiments, analysis, all of it built on top of a clean, governed, engineered foundation. This is the stack, and we are going to teach every single layer of it. From the foundational concepts to the production-grade implementations that real teams ship every day. Here's what makes DataFlux different from every other data channel. We don't just teach concepts. We prove they work by building real things across real domains. Trading and market data, live financial data to build and stress test pipelines and real-time feeds. If a pipeline can handle financial data at speed, it can handle anything. IoT and real-time streams, sensor data, event streams, live feeds. What streaming architecture actually looks like outside of a textbook. Economic and public data, government APIs, census datasets, open financial data. We pull it, clean it, model it, and turn it into something you can present and act on. E-commerce and business data, orders, customers, products, revenue. The datasets behind every online business, engineered the right way. Vibe coding and app building. Functional apps built fast, on screen, in real time. No cuts, you see the idea, the code, and the result, including the moments where we don't know the answer, and we use AI to figure it out live. Real builds, real code, real output. The data stack is the foundation. These domains are the proof. Here is the truth nobody tells you when you're starting out in tech. The gap between someone who understands data concepts and someone who can actually engineer data systems, that gap is enormous. And so is the difference in opportunity. Data engineers, analytics engineers, data quality engineers, some of the most in-demand, highest compensated roles in technology right now. Not because the work is mysterious, because most people never took the time to learn the full stack. They learned SQL or Python, or they took a machine learning course, but they never learned how the data gets there, how it stays clean, how the whole system holds together under pressure. That's the gap. That's what DataFlux is built to close. Whether you're a developer moving into data, an analyst ready to level up, a student mapping your path, or a professional who needs to understand what your data team is actually building, this channel is for you. No gatekeeping, no paywalls, no expensive tools. Just real skills, built in public, one video at a time. Every week we're dropping new content, tutorials, real builds, breakdowns, and proof. Long-form deep dives every Monday on YouTube. Short-form every single day across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. All of it technical, all of it real, all of it buildable with free tools and a laptop. If you're serious about the data stack, subscribe right now. Turn on notifications and come build with us. This is DataFlux. We teach the data stack and we prove it with real builds.